I've heard that the Zen masters say that there's one quality of enlightenment in two distinct groups of people, and these two groups of people are men who study for at least 13 years and mature older women who get there, usually with no man around. And I've found mature older women to be fun to be around, and they have a perspective on life that you can't deny, that you can't kind of get away from. A friend of mine from California, her mom had cancer and was going through cancer therapy. She was a nurse. She came to a preview and absolutely had a real kind of pragmatic view on life. And I asked her, will you do my class? She said, I can't afford it. And I said, that's not going to be the issue. I always like somebody who has a perspective and a maturity in my classes that people can't escape. Now, when you've got cancer and you know your time is limited on the planet, when you're over 70 and you know you have less time on the planet that you've spent there, there's a perspective that you can't get. I don't care how mature a younger person is, they just can't get it. Now, they can get it electromagnetically and sometimes they can hear it, but in a classroom situation, it really makes for an honest class. And Chris came to the class, and we sat through the class, and we had a great time. She said, I'm going to be late Sunday morning. And I said, okay, how come? She said, well, I'm going to church. I'm Catholic. Every Catholic person I've met, I've enjoyed. Sorry, that's one of the things that has happened in my life. But one of the things, when she came in on Sunday morning, she was real bright and happy, and her countenance in her face. And I said to her, if religion did this to everybody, I would really encourage religion. If everybody came out like you came out, then, I would encourage it. But we spent some time after the class. I was flying, I believe, from California, Southern California, to Seattle, I think is where I was going. And she said, well, I'll give you a ride. So we rode to the airport together, and it was the day after the class, and she said, Mick, she said, when I met you, she said, the cancer had me. She said, really, truly did it. It consumed me. She said, since the weekend, it's like somebody's lifted a veil. When you lose somebody real close, she said, when I lost my husband, I was kind of shrouded for over a year. And she said, then all of a sudden the veil lifted, and I could see much more clearly. And she said, it's like the veil lifted this weekend, and now I have cancer. She said, it's not a big problem. But her biggest dilemma was that when she went for therapy, I said, what's the hardest part? She said, listening to all the other people complain. She said, I just can't stand it. She said, it's bad enough, but then to listen to them while you're waiting for this to start. And her daughter said, I'm going to get you a T-shirt that you can wear under your shirt, and you can open your shirt, and it'll say, shut the up. And I said, well, then you're resisting the situation, right? Then you're going to make people angry. You're going to resist the situation, which will very likely make it worse. I talked to Chris a couple of weeks later. I said, have you been for therapy, for chemo lately? And she said, yes. And I said, is it different? And she started laughing. She said, yeah. And I said, what's different? She said, I don't know. She said, everybody since I've done your class, everybody that has been in chemo with me are foreigners. She said, I don't understand a word they're saying. She said, I think they're complaining and whining, but I don't know. I can't understand them, so I really don't care. Life is sometimes creative.